Hey everybody, this is episode 116 of the Paper Robots podcast. I'm your host, Logan Nuggle, and this episode is looking back on the year that was 2017. In future episodes, we'll be looking forward into 2018 and what I'm excited about, but this is all about the whole year of 2017. We're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, the things we liked and didn't like. For the audio version of this podcast, found wherever audio versions of podcasts are found, Cynthia and I co-host the show and we both compared things, but this is the shorter video version where I get into a few of the things that I really loved, talking about music, movies, all that stuff. But first, let's go with the theme song. All right. So, 2017 brought a lot of good and bad, and weird stuff happened. But in my life, I had a few amazing things happen. And then there's all the things that we as nerds and geeks consume. And I want to talk about some of those things I really enjoyed. So first, the things I loved. This is not the consumable stuff. This is the things that happen in my life that I love. First, let's see. Getting engaged is probably the highest thing on the list. Cynthia Garrett and I got engaged, and our wedding will be in 2018. That was an amazing thing that happened. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and it was amazing. Some other things that I got to do is in Portland, we survived snowpocalypse, which is probably one of the negatives, but we survived that. We got to go to Slay, a Pride dance party, which was this amazing thing, especially here in Portland. And then, I spent time with Cynthia's family. We went to the zoo. My mom came in town and visited, so we got to show her around Portland. I got to smoke weed legally, if I can say that. I'm not sure if I can say that, but I did. So there. This year was really amazing. So many different things happened, and I'm very excited that I got to be involved in so much good stuff because there was a lot of dumb stuff. That's all I really want to talk about. Like, I got to go to a couple Comic-Cons, Rose City, Tucson. It was really cool. Cynthia had shows. There's so many things that by the end of the year, it's like, wait, what happened again? Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, that. Let's get right into the first category that I want to talk about, which is music of 2017. This year, music was I'm talking about like music that I found, not that just was released. There's a lot of different things in music that I didn't know about that Cynthia showed me, that friends that I work with showed me. So for these categories, it's more about things I discovered or found or fell in love with in 2017. And for me, without a doubt, Kendrick Lamar's Damn album came out this year. It was wonderful. It's an amazing album. Pretty much every song, listen to it. It's worth listening to. If you're not even a fan of hip hop, to like listen to the music, listen to the lyrics, and dive into it. There's a lot of cool video essays also on Kendrick Lamar that I would recommend. It was a really good album. That has to be top. It's also topping the charts on a lot of like Paste Magazine, Pitchfork, all that stuff. So it deserves all the hype. So Kendrick Lamar's album, Damn, is really good. The band Future Islands, a band I did not know about until 2017. Cynthia showed them to me, and I am so excited that she did. They're really cool. I don't even know how to describe them. It's like there's electric but funky bass lines and vocals I've never heard before. They're like kind of sultry and gravelly sometimes, especially on the live stuff. That album's amazing. Singles is the album I'm talking about. But they have a whole discography that I never heard because I never heard of this band. So Future Islands, yes. Whew. Let's see. Conor Oberst's album, Salutations, was phenomenal. A lot of people are comparing it to like sounding like Bob Dylan, but I would see that as a compliment. And just continues to go in the direction of I like Conor Oberst and I like his music, and it's another album that I thoroughly enjoyed. Another band I found thanks to NPR's Tiny Desk. You can go on YouTube and check out NPR's Tiny Desk. It's a great way to discover bands because the related videos column is really good. That's how I've stumbled into a lot of music that didn't necessarily come out this year, but I really fell in love with. And one of those bands is Monsieur Perrine, which is like a band that's Colombian fusion, Latina, but it also has jazz. They're from New York. It's really beautiful. Highly recommended. I'm not sure when their albums came out because I saw their Tiny Desk and then started listening to them. Action Bronson, Father John Misty, Open Mike Eagle had an amazing album this year. Serengeti released an album. There was the Kurt Vile, Courtney Barnett album, which sounds what you would think those two sound like together, which is really like good. It's really good. Webster X, another hip hop artist, and then Manchester Orchestra. There's no particular order to these. I don't like ranking things. In the audio version of the podcast, we kind of talk about rankings overrated, and I think it puts too much pressure on a subjective art form. So those are the list of things and albums I enjoyed. Let's go into music. How about that? Let's jump into movies. How about that? All right. So once again, I'm going to rattle off a bunch of names from the movies, and I'll let you, the listeners and viewers, decide on where they rank, because I'm not going to touch that. So I'm just going to rattle them off and then talk about a few of them. The anime Your Name was fantastic. I saw it in fantastic. I think is one of the words of the show of 2017. I'm going to try to get more language in the year 2018. But Your Name anime, we saw it in theaters. Freaking really good, really pretty and cute. It's a love story told across time, and there's a link between two timelines. It's really, really well done. This for me was a year of discovering anime. Since I've been dating Cynthia and now engaged, one of the things is she's seen a lot of anime movies and has friends that have, and I haven't until recently. So this year I saw a bunch of anime, like Ghost in the Shell, saw both versions of the movie in 2017. Paprika, Summer Wars, Tekken Kinkreet, all movies I'd never seen that came out years ago, and I'm just now discovering them. So those all made the list for me. But Your Name actually came out in 2017, and we saw it in theaters, and it was really beautiful. I would say Get Out is also one of the most memorable movies of the year. I saw it when it was first released, and it stuck in my head, and it's something you can rewatch and appreciate. It's a great horror thriller movie. It's closer on the it's actually called more of a social thriller because of the subject matter and the suspense elements instead of it being like gross kind of horror or anything. Fantastic. Then the Logan based loosely on Old Man Logan, the comic came out. Wolverine, really good. I talked about it in a former podcast when the movie came out, but it really is a wonderful wrap up to the Hugh Jackman Wolverine saga universe, whatever you want to call it. Filmed amazingly. I really liked it. Go check it out. All right, before we dive further into the list, I have to mention Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Super, super good. I am on the side of this movie was really good. There's people that didn't like Rogue One and any of these new series like Force Awakens, especially Force Awakens was like, it's too much like Empire Strikes Back, or it's too much like the old with just not doing anything. This movie, I think, does a lot of new stuff, and people might not like it for that reason. I'm on the side that Star Wars: The Last Jedi is a really good movie, and it deems rewatching. Sure, there's flaws, but that's everything. So then there was Wonder Woman, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Lego Batman, War of the Planet of the Apes, Okja, Mother, Baby Driver, Big Sick, Coco, It. It was another horror movie. I'm not a huge horror movie person, but it was like really good, and it's a little scary and a little creepy, but it also is very good in the way Stranger Things is good, where it tries to be scary, but it's more than that. So It, phenomenal. Big Sick, Kumail Nanjiani's movie. Not loosely, it's pretty much how he came into comedy. Really, really good. I watched that on Amazon. I thought it was really fun. I like kind of rom-com-y stuff like that. It was very slice of life, and the fact that it is based on his life and the things happened in it was really, really interesting. There was also, on that note, there's a lot of great stand-up that came out this year and some not so great stand-up, but since it's movies, I thought I'd throw that out there. There's some good stand-up. Baby Driver. So, Baby Driver, I did not see in theaters, and I'm so bummed because it deserves being watched in theaters. It deserves having gotten a higher box office because it really is a wonderful movie. And it's so tied to music and the score of the film to the point that there's lyrics hidden in the scenery of the movie that tie directly with and are on pace with the soundtrack as the film is scrolling. It was amazing. Baby Driver, go watch it. If you don't like Scott Pilgrim and some of the other things that the directors made, I would still recommend checking out Baby Driver. It's a heist movie. It has some comedy elements, but it's all around a great film. Then there was John Wick 2. Let's see. It Comes at Night. This is a year of horror movies for me. It Comes at Night. I really enjoyed. And then I threw out Coco. Coco was an amazing Pixar film. Once again, I talked about this on the previous podcast during the Thanksgiving episode. But Coco is really good. It talks about Dia de los Muertos and remembering your past and your loved ones and how that is a part of your life. And it's really good. It's good to see the diversity in Pixar. Yeah. So that is a list of the movies. There's probably a ton more that I rewatched and didn't watch, and too much time. I could spend 3 hours on all the movies that I need to see, didn't see, and where they would rank. The Shape of Water. As of recording the video version, I have seen it, and it is highly recommended. The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro, so good, beautiful. It's a beautiful love story with a beautiful, sexy sea creature person. So, yeah, The Shape of Water, go see that also. Now let's move into TV shows. I'm just shooting a mile a minute. We're going. TV shows, let's rattle them off because there's a lot. We had a season of Game of Thrones. We had a season of Westworld. Then there was a new season of Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman, Silicon Valley, all had shows. There's the DC CW universe that I watch. Stranger Things season 2. Then there was all the Marvel Netflix movies or TV shows like Punisher, Luke Cage, Defenders, Iron Fist. All of those things. I would have to say Punisher and Luke Cage are definitely the highlights of the Netflix Defender Marvel universe. The Defenders felt like it could have used 2 more episodes, and Iron Fist I won't even mention. And then, then there was Legion, so many superhero Marvel comic things. Legion, really well done. I liked it on a cinematic level as much as I liked it as a nerdy, like geeky show, because it shows how someone who might be schizophrenic, like how they interpret time and passing through, and it does awesome cinematic shots to kind of show that to the audience. Master of None season 2, also really good. I would actually say it's probably better than the first one. To me, it had a stronger through story. It's also a great soundtrack and really interesting to look in the lives of people. I started watching the TV show Blackish because I had the Hulu free trial. Really funny show, and it actually touches on real things. Of course, it has the like a family friendly kind of line through it, so a little bit of grain of salt, but it's a really funny show. I would recommend checking that out. Then there was Documentary Now, Wet Hot American Summer, A Series of Unfortunate Events, Sense8. And yes, Big Mouth, also really good. And yes, Cynthia and I watched Gossip Girl. What? Yeah, I like to watch silly things with my lady. And that was one of them because we have Netflix and that's what you do. You binge watch shows. So I could say that like Game of Thrones is really good, but it was really good. Westworld was awesome also. I feel like that they have they're HBO, they have a high production value. We know Game of Thrones is going to be like X level of good no matter what, so it's not worth it mentioning that much. Rick and Morty also was really good, still really funny. But then there was like The Handmaid's Tale, based off the book, caught me off guard at how well it is and how applicable it is to today and the current political climate and everything. And A Series of Unfortunate Events was really good. Like, those really stand out to me. Punisher also like a really standout show to me, and Luke Cage. I mean, those are kind of in the top, as well as like Legion, Atlanta. Yeah. Now comes the part where I have to admit that I didn't read a lot of comics this year. I didn't read a lot of comics, so this list is very short. There was Nothing Lasts Forever by Sina Grace. Saga continues to be great. God Country, I recommend picking up the graphic novel. It came out in issues and now it's in graphic novel form. It's really good about a sword, the Sword of Swords, if you will, the God of Swords kind of. It's really cool, and the art style is really, really cool. Check that out. Batman White Knight, Sean Murphy, fantastic art. It's a beautiful book just to like stare at the pages, as well as an interesting way to streamline and connect continuities with it being in its own kind of Elseworlds universe. And then Jeff Lemire's Roughneck he had a couple books come out this last year, like Black Hammer I still haven't read. But Roughneck, original graphic novel, fucking great. Yeah, it's really good. I recommend anything by Jeff Lemire, and I probably always will. His stuff's really good. And then a friend, Jason Pittman, came out with a third and final issue of his series, The War for Caleb. Go pick it up. It's really great. It's worth mentioning because, first of all, it's an indie creator. We've become friends up here in Portland, and this book is really good. It deals with anxiety disorder in a really interesting way, and I can't speak highly enough on it. I've had him on the show. Go check out his episode and check out the book. All right. Now, before we jump into things that sucked this year, there was apps because I use my phone a lot. I don't have a video game system. We didn't have a TV until we got our tax money back. So I play a lot on my phone and when I'm waiting in line and stuff like that. So I just want to mention some of the apps that I use and used the most of 2017. First of all, there's Evernote, which is the note system that I'm actually using for the podcast. I've been using it for about 3 years now, and I still really like it. I'm sure there's better ones that do more or other ones that people like. I'm kind of in that ecosystem, and I really like Evernote. So I would check it out. It's free, or you can buy more features or whatever. So Evernote. This game Iron Marines by this company Ironhide, they do a lot of tower defense, and this one Iron Marines is like StarCraft in a way, where it's like the StarCraft missions where do these 3 things, defend this, and you kind of build a little building almost like an RTS. But I really like their tower defense games, so I kind of check out all their mobile apps. And then there was Super Mario Run, which is really fun for like 10 minutes until it asks you for more money. That was kind of the downfall of iPhone games for me. Was I download a lot of games that are just time wasters and make you grind it out unless you want to spend money. And I don't like spending money, and I did maybe spend too many single dollars on microtransactions, and ultimately you delete the app in like 3 months or whatever, and so you just throw that money away. But I had fun, so I guess I shouldn't regret it, but I do. Then Monument Valley, it's a puzzle game. It's really cute, really good music. I use the Fitbit app. I have a Fitbit. I like the gamification of like, how many steps can I get? Why don't I walk another 10 minutes or 5 minutes? And it keeps me healthier. So I enjoy having a Fitbit, as dorky as it looks on the wrist. But there we are. Quiz Up is a fun game. It's like, whatever, all those games where it's like, do you know this pop culture question? But you can do it with your friends. And I have a really fun memory of our laundry machine broke at our old apartment, and we were sitting at the laundromat, Cynthia and I, and we were playing this game, and we were playing with Bandrew, and it's just a fun game and fun memory, so that one gets on the list for 2017 apps. And then there's Puzzle Fighter and Threes that I use a lot, like a match 3 game / the game called Threes. Those are really fun, just time wasters, like while we're pumping gas or whatever it is. So those are the apps I used, and look forward to more apps that I use in 2017. Also, if you have any recommendations, please tweet at that Logan so I can find out what I should be checking out, or what you think is better, or if you have questions on maybe other games I played or anything like that. Tweet at that Logan on Instagram or Twitter. Follow me there, and let me know if you think that's interesting. Do you want to know what else is on my phone or what I use? Do you want to know my passwords? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So let's jump into what sucked, and then we will conclude 2017, and I look forward to the year of 2018 and setting goals and seeing what I can do in 2018. So, okay. First of all, where do I start? Things that sucked. Our president sucks all of 2017. There wasn't a moment where it was like, oh, that didn't suck from him. No, everything sucked. Here's the silver lining of something else, though. All the sexual harassment cases and all the sexual harassers in the world, they suck. They really sucked in 2017 when everything came out. And it really sucked that nerd culture, like the movie industry, the comic industry, all these things came out, the entertainment culture in general, that there's so many people in power, especially like white dudes in power, that are abusing their power, and it was awful. That's it. That's all to say. Like, the silver lining is that they were found out, and hopefully more are found out. It's so wrong, and it's something that I'm diving into, getting into comic culture and want to be a part of this industry, and to have this like dirty laundry. I'm glad it's being aired so that people can like get in trouble for it and things will actually change. I'm so sick of the people in power getting away with that crap. I'm sorry for the cussing, but it's really good to know that dirty laundry was aired so that we can change it, so we can remove it. We can get rid of all those crappy people, and better people can be put in power, and better things can happen in this world. So it sucks that all of these things came out, but at the same time, it's a really good thing that they actually came out. So now that hopefully change can start to happen, we've seen people get fired and stuff. I just hope that continues to be a thing. And yeah. So moving on from that, I would say another thing that sucked for me personally would be not reading enough. I didn't read enough comics or books in general, and that's something I'm gonna change in 2018. I have a goal, and then I'll actually try to work at it, because I'll be writing on the titles of the books that I'm reading. I didn't read enough. I spent too much time on my phone playing the little games that I mentioned, or watching TV shows and rewatching because I'm tired from work or whatever. Less excuses for 2018. Then there was like flooding and fire and the world in general, trying to, I think, burn off the bad things that happened in 2017. I don't know. Snowpocalypse happened. That was in like February and in January of 2017. Then there was the fire in California, but also here in Oregon. And then there was the flooding in the South. I mean, so many things in the world happened that were bad, that you just got to hang on to the good and come together as humans and support each other and not support bad people. That's what I want to say, is just go support each other in 2018. Continue to stay strong. Continue to not rationalize irrational behavior by terrible people. I think last year 2017 started off really strong. And I think 2018, we have to keep the momentum going. And it's not about staying angry, but it's about staying motivated and staying as a community, because that's how things change, is like calling people out for the better. And yeah, please let me know if you have any recommendations, movies, books, etc. Tweet at that Logan, or you can email thepaperrobots@gmail.com. Just send me your recommendations or your questions. I would love to answer them on further episodes. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Smash the like button or whatever. No, just like, if you enjoyed this, I recommend that you check out the audio podcast, because there's a ton more episodes, or just share this with a friend that might also enjoy it. Share it with a buddy. Thank you so much for helping 2017 be better than it would have been otherwise. Thank you to all the guests that I had on the show. It's because of the guests that I can keep the show going, because it keeps things fresh. It keeps me learning and excited about making comics, about making content. Yeah, I'm so lucky to have an amazing partner in my life and amazing friends, and you, the listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for everything. Let's end 2017 and just get ready to be more excited and happier in 2018. Yay! Thank you so much. All right, bye.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer of Vandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.